Matrix. I'm going to be keeping you company until 9 p.m. tonight with all the latest women in music news. I've got amazing guests. I've got a game of Fangirl Frenzy, which you will not want to miss tonight. And my woman of the week this week is someone who I've wanted to interview since I was about 16, and I'm 22 now, so it's taken me a little bit of a while. It's Dodie. She's so cool, just love her music, and there will be a half-hour interview with her after 8 o'clock tonight. I'll also be chatting to a girl called Sally Robinson, who has had her song played up in space this week on the ISS, so stay tuned to listen to her talk about how that all came about. But first, I'm going to start off the show with a bit of Gabrielle. She's got a new single out as well called Can't Hurry Love, off her album Do It Again. Here it is. To the Women in Music show on Gorgeous FM. That was a bit of London Grammar. How does it feel? Absolutely adore that just sound of London Grammar. Now it is time of the part of the show where I put a fangirl to the test. It's time for a game of Fangirl Frenzy, and playing today is Molly in Portsmouth. Hi, Molly.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight? Playing you all the best women in music and giving you all the best women in music news. And speaking of women in music news, this story caught my eye this week. A music student from Cardiff has had her music played in space this week after she got in touch with an astronaut on the International Space Station. Sally Robinson's song, Moonlit Skies, went even higher than the skies that we can see above us, like even higher than that. And it was beamed in space. How cool is that? And I'm really glad to say that if you have any questions, you're thinking, how does this happen? We've actually got Sally on the line now. Hi, Sally.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. I feel like we have so much to unpack with this story because all the questions. How did this come about?
So basically, it's part of a little project that I'm doing. So it's a set of 4 double singles, basically, and each one is representing a different element. So for the promotion for each one, I'm trying to send it out to basically interesting people in interesting places all the way around the world, just to see how far my voice can travel. And so this one is representing air, so I was like, well, I should send this to weather stations and weather scientists and space people. So I kind of got thinking, I should see if I can get an astronaut to hear it, and then Scott Kelly was like, yeah, this is really cool, which is amazing.
What was your reaction when you actually realised this had been played in space? Because I think I'd be on the floor.
I think it's the coolest email I will ever receive. Like, I think I started shaking. My mum was with me at the time, and she was like, oh my God, you've gone so red. It was really funny.
I imagine. So can you tell me a bit more about the kind of music you like to make, and the song itself, Moonlit Skies, what that's all about?
So I make indie folk music. I'm quite influenced by Laura Marling and Joni Mitchell and people like that. Moonlit Skies itself was inspired by the Mars Perseverance rover. Basically, that words. They released a couple of recordings from Mars as part of the landing, and I thought that was so cool. So I thought I would make some music from that. So the actual song itself includes those recordings, and it's kind of about the feeling that you get when you're looking up at the sky at night and you kind of see the moon and the stars, and you just kind of like all of the worries that you're thinking about kind of fade away because you just kind of remember how small you are and therefore how insignificant those worries are. So I find it really calming, and that's kind of what the song is about, that feeling.
That is like, it's so grounding, isn't it, when you just kind of look up at the sky and I mean, I mentioned to you the other day, we had a little chat the other day, and I said, like, there's been a few interesting things that have happened to me on a full moon, but has there ever been anything happen to you on a full moon that you kind of feel like, ooh, this is all aligning?
Nothing comes to mind, but I'm always definitely, like, I tend to, I don't know, I always read my horoscope, like, every morning, and I feel like they're kind of more accurate around full moons. But that could just be me looking into it and trying to look for it. I don't know.
You never know, though, do you? When you're looking at horoscopes, it's like, is that actually me, or is it too vague, or I don't know. But yeah, I love this song because it's just so kind of calming and just grounding, as you say. And have you got anything else coming up? I mean, you say you kind of send your music out to interesting people. So who is on your list of people that you want to send your music to next?
So I found out a few days ago that one of the team who actually put the Mars rover on Mars listened to it and really liked it. So that's a really cool thing. And then I think the next A-side, B-side, which is coming out, that's going to be out on the next full moon, which is the 27th, I believe, of April. So that's representing Earth, and I'm going to try and get that played in like deserts and rainforests, I think. And then the one that's representing fire, I'm going to send to volcanoes. And then the last one is representing water, and I'm going to try and get that heard on boats.
This is so cool. I feel like you've got this all planned out, and all this love of kind of sciencey stuff and geography and on all of that kind of stuff under that umbrella. I'm saying the word stuff too much now. Where did that all come about? Has that been something that you've just really loved all the time, or is it something that's kind of come quite recently?
Well, I've always been a little bit of a nerd, so it's kind of it's grown from my passion for like the planet and stuff like that. So, but space especially, I've always just been completely inspired by. So the first song that I ever wrote was basically about me missing the moon because I couldn't see it from my bedroom window. But yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know, especially after being in lockdown, I think it's really interesting to have my voice being heard in places that I could never get to. So, I don't know, that's kind of what inspired it.
Yeah, it's kind of a paradox between lockdown and this, isn't it? It's such a massive difference, but it kind of, I guess it almost feels like a bit of normality's on the way, you know? You're getting your voice heard in not just your home anymore, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the song that's coming up at the end of the month. Have you got anything else planned, or are you just kind of taking it one day at a time because you are a uni student doing your dissertation?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get these songs out, and then at some point I have to actually write my dissertation. That's kind of quite important. And then I think probably in autumn I'll try and get a couple more songs out. Yeah, past that, I don't know. That's too far in the future.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment you can't really plan past 2 weeks, can you? But it's been awesome to chat to you this evening. So where can people find you if they want to know more?
So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My Instagram handle is @_Sally Robinson, or you can find me at my website, which is www.sally-robinson.co.uk.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I guess the last thing to do is, can you introduce your song in true radio style for the Women in Music show?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for having me. So this is Moonlit Skies. It's available everywhere now. If you like it, go listen to it. Thank you very much.
Here it is.